Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeTune.com. I'm back another Monday morning mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and some other things. What do you got this morning? Hang on a minute. Yes, I've got my Yeti mug. Yeti again. I just got some basic Maxwell House from my Keurig. Nothing fancy this morning, but boy, does that taste great. If you saw my video review of the new Vikings Blade razor, this one right here, the Chieftain 5BC. If you saw that review yesterday, you heard me mention how I was under the weather New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. I had this sinus infection. You can still hear I'm a little bit nasal. I had this sinus infection. It just knocked me for a loop. I mean, I missed New Year's Eve. I missed most of New Year's Day. I was just completely out of it, and finally saw the doctor on Thursday. I went to an urgent care center, and then they gave me a prescription. So I went around the corner from there to Walmart, and because I did this early in the morning because I didn't want to wait in line, you know, when the whole mass of people start coming in with ailments and prescriptions and that sort of thing, I try to get to an early start. Boy, even though that was just killing me. But you know what? You got to get out and get moving. But anyhow, I went to the local Walmart, and they opened their pharmacy at 9 o'clock. So I was there 8:45. So I had the prescription was already called in. So I just had a chance to just kind of walk around. Lo and behold, check this out. If you're looking for witch hazel, my local Walmart stocks this in the first aid section. So here are some nice choices and very affordable choices for witch hazel. If you're looking for witch hazel, I just wanted to show that to you. That was kind of neat. So if you're looking for witch hazel and you're in a local Walmart, go to their first aid section and you should see those products there. And they are priced very affordably. So just so you know, just another option for you. So yeah, great Yeti mug, keeping everything nice and warm. I'm starting to bounce back, starting to feel better. So that's great. Let's get to some of these questions right here. The first one comes from Gary, also known as GJC. And he writes to me regarding all the coffee we talk about on this channel here. And he says, Mr. Zarady, your mailbag video presentations often include your sharing of a coffee or associated coffee product. You usually discuss coffees bought at Trader Joe's. Yes, I do. Many of the coffees there tend to be either over roasted or a dark roast, regardless of how they are labeled. I'm not sure about that, but you know, I'll take your word for it. Here's what he has to say here. Another supply source that you should find very satisfying is a mail order online shipping coffee supplier called Sweet Maria's. The reason is that this company finds and stocks and sells green, unroasted, high-quality coffees from around the world for customers to roast at home on their own. The person with green, unroasted beans at home can roast his beans to a light roast level. Doing this, although a learning process, will allow finding what a good light roasted coffee is like. You yourself would likely find that the flavor will be as good as or better than what you are accustomed from your Trader Joe's coffees. Equipment to use is not complicated. It can be done well using just a saucepan with a glass lid. Roasting time can be between 6 and 8 minutes, but can vary depending on the size of flame used. Website address for Sweet Maria's is www.sweetmarias.com. I include that in this Monday morning mailbag because I know a lot of my viewers are coffee aficionados and coffee lovers, and I was really surprised by this. This was really amazing. I visited the website, and you can buy coffee roasters there, and he's right. You can buy these green coffee beans from all over the world and roast them yourself. So if you really want to go down that rabbit hole of coffee, this might be a good venue to start your coffee lovers adventure. So that's why I included this morning with this morning's Monday morning mailbag. That was amazing. He also goes on to talk about the Assured double-edged safety razor we talked about last time at Dollar Tree. Now, I went to my local Dollar Tree and they were out of stock. And because of this whole sinus infection, I have not had a chance to get to nearby Dollar Trees to see if they had something in stock. I hope to go back to my local Dollar Tree and see if they have it back on the shelf. And if they do, I will grab one and certainly do an online review in comparison with the Weishi razor to see how it stacks up and to give it a look. For $1 or $2, it might be worth, in a pinch if you're traveling out of town, that sort of thing. That's why I'm very, very much intrigued by that. But thank you very much for that email, Gary. I really do appreciate it, and I hope some of you out there who are coffee lovers will look into sweetmarias.com. I visited the website. Looks very, very intriguing, very, very interesting, that's for sure. And those coffee roasters can be quite expensive, but hey, you know what? Like any other hobby, you want to go forward with it, might well be worth the time and investment. All right, this next question comes from Pick and Duck. Hi, Mark. I like how you look into things. Thank you very much. I was trying to understand blade overhang. What are your thoughts and what can you find out about this? Now, blade overhang is about installing a razor blade and having those end tabs protrude on the end of the razor head here. Those little end tabs on a razor blade just stick out a little bit. And really, basically, the reason why that is, it's for easier blade installation and removal, the ability to adjust a blade also, and the razor head stays a little more compact, a little more maneuverable when you're using it. Now, why would you adjust a blade? Well, here's an Edwin Jagger razor. Now these are machined very, very precisely. There's absolutely no problem with having to adjust a razor blade in there. But sometimes you will get a bargain three-piece razor that is not really made to the precise specifications of some of these nicer razors like an Edwin Jagger or a Mula or a Merkur. There is a little slop in the tolerances, let's say, so that when you install a razor blade, the balance and alignment might be off a little bit. Well, grabbing those end tabs will allow you to adjust it before you give it that final turn to tighten things down, and you can manually align that. You might see that in some wet shave video reviews on other channels where they'll look at it and they'll adjust it a little bit like that. The classic Gillette Super Speed also has the tabs that hang out. And again, I think this was done for maneuverability because when you drop this in, you're not going to be adjusting that at all. It locks in. The blade alignment is perfectly fine. The balance is fine. I have never had an instance with a twist-to-open razor, a well-made twist-to-open razor, where I've had to actually grab that and adjust that. That's really done for maneuverability. Case in point, the original Chieftain razor encloses the end tabs. And I just did the review on the Chieftain 5BC, and you can see that the razor heads are, you can see where the Chieftain is a little bit wider and the Chieftain BC is a little narrower, so to speak. So the end tabs on this are going to stick out. You don't have to adjust this at all. You drop it in, the alignment and the balance are absolutely spot on. But there is maneuverability there. You do gain some maneuverability with a head that is just a little bit smaller. Not to say that this is not maneuverable. I've found that it's maneuverable, but some of you might like the end tabs enclosed. Others you might find that the end tabs overhang don't bother you as much. Some other three-piece razors have the end tabs with just a very, very slight amount of overhang. I mean, almost flush. The Petite Grande is one of those where you can just barely feel the end tab here on each side. So I guess if you wanted to try to adjust it, you might be able to do so, but I think that's moot. Again, alignment and balance of the blade on the razor like this is fine. So it's all in what you want. Some favor a little bit more of a safety factor by not having the end tabs exposed. They want them enclosed. Some favor maneuverability, and they don't mind because, well, as your technique improves and improves and improves, the likelihood of you catching an earlobe or a nostril with an end tab decreases over time. It really does. It becomes something that really you shouldn't bother with. I have many, many razors that have blade overhang, and you know, knock wood, I haven't nicked an earlobe or a nostril with those at all, ever, I don't think. And again, knock wood, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I hope that answers your question, and thanks very much for passing it along. I appreciate it. This next question comes from TD Witt, also known as Tim. He asks me, I was wondering which style razor do you prefer? Twist to open, two-piece, or three-piece? I love twist to open razors for the nostalgia. They remind me of when my dad used to shave when I was a kid, and they are easier to load. Your thoughts? Thanks, Tim. Tim, exactly my thoughts. Exactly. I lean towards the twist to open razors. Absolutely, I love these. But it also depends on the razor, the style, the weight, the handle, the razor head, the comb, that sort of thing. Those factors come into play as well. But I do lean towards the twist to open razors. Now, this is my late father's Gillette twist to open, the Super Speed from 1957. It's still in beautiful shape. And I still pull this out and use it every once in a while. And it gives a really, really nice shave. But truth be told, going back to that end tab question, I was a little bit, when I came back to the traditional wet shave, I was a little bit intimidated by the end tabs on this being exposed. You know, afraid of nicking a lobe, nicking underneath the nostril, that sort of thing. And not knowing how to take care of it, relearning this whole wet shaving process. That's why I did some research online, and I got the original Vikings Blade Chieftain razor. Now, in coming back to the traditional wet shave, I had several requirements, one of which was that the end tabs be enclosed. And when I found that out through a Q&A on the product page, then that was one of the factors that sold me on the razor. Also, I wanted something with more weight, which this had, and I wanted a twist to open for easier loading of the blade. When you first come back to the traditional wet shave, you don't want to fumble around with a razor blade right away with a three-piece razor. Just, you know, doing this right here is a lot easier than, you know, doing this, you know, taking this apart here, getting that off, and then, you know, getting this off, and then putting the blade in there, and then, you know, putting this back down, and then putting this back on. It is a little bit intimidating. You have to kind of slowly break yourself into the whole process of the wet shave, and that includes getting a razor blade, unwrapping it, and actually loading it into a razor, which is why I think the twist to open appealed to me, which is why I lean towards it. Now, as you gain experience with the traditional wet shave and you start to try different razors, whether they be three-piece razors or two-piece razors, everything becomes just second nature. It just becomes automatic. You learn a process and a routine that is comfortable to you. And that's why I say I lean towards the twist to open razors. The Chieftain, boy, I'm so glad they made this razor, because this is the razor that brought me back to the traditional wet shave. And again, as I say, it met the criteria for me to come back to it. I didn't even consider a three-piece razor when I first came back to the traditional wet shave. So I do lean towards the traditional twist to open razors because there is that nostalgic feeling of my father's razor being a twist to open. Who knows, if my father had had you know, a classic three-piece razor, maybe I would have gone in that direction. I don't know. Now, a lot of other wet shavers prefer three-piece razors because they like to swap out the razor heads. Here's something with this is a classic samurai fat-handled, short fat-handled razor, and you can take this razor head cap and the base plate off of this and put it on something longer handle or a slender handle, or use an open comb on this particular fat handle. A lot of wet shavers like to swap out base plates and cap plates on different handles. They like that. They like to kind of make their own Franken razor, so to speak, to give them a slightly different shave. That's fine. I have no problem with that. That appears to be a lot of fun as well. I like to have everything orderly. I like to keep the original cap and base plate with the original handle, and I don't like straying from that too much. But yeah, I lean towards the twist to open razors, but there is that experimentation with three-piece razors a lot of guys like, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. When it comes to two-piece razors, yeah, I do like two-piece razors. Two-piece razors were probably a nice step up from, I think I bought this Merkur HD34C before I bought an Edwin Jagger because it was two-piece. I think that kind of made the transition from going from a twist to open to a three-piece razor as far as loading the blade. I just looked at this and thought, well, with the base plate attached, I'll never lose it, and just put the blade in there like that, and that seems kind of safe, and you know, you don't have to worry about alignment because it's done automatically on this razor. So yeah, I think that's probably why I got this before the Edwin Jagger. I have to check my records though. But yeah, two-piece razors are great as well. I like them a lot, but yeah, I do lean towards the one-piece razors. But again, it depends on the three-piece razor, what I'm looking at, because there are a lot of three-piece razors out there that are absolutely gorgeous, and I love using them even though they're three-piece razors. I love the handles, I love the actual razor head, and you know, their overall design and the shave quality and the kind of shave they give me. That comes into play as well, which is why I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what I'm reviewing next. This is the Vikings Blade Godfather Stonehenge. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Stainless steel. That's right, it's a stainless steel razor and it's a three-piece razor. And just look at this, look how beautiful this is. Okay, a full stainless steel handle, and it has a stainless steel cap and threaded post right here. That's stainless steel. This is a zinc, but it's plated in, I guess that's an antique bronze there. But look at that, the labeling on that and the branding on that with their logo and their name. And absolutely beautiful branding there as well. Really nice. And again, it's, you know, this is a three-piece razor that I have no problem handling. I love the feel of this razor, three-piece razor. So yeah, so there you go. So that's it, three-piece, two-piece, twist to open. I love them all, but yeah, I tend to lean towards the twist to open for the very same reasons that you do, because of this nostalgic quality that my father had a twist to open razor as well. All right, hey, thanks very much for that, Tim. I really do appreciate it. Well, hey, that's it. Thanks very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below, let me know, hey, what's your favorite razor? Twist to open, two-piece, three-piece? Love to know, love to hear about that. Also, if you have any thoughts on home roasting coffee, sure would like to know that as well. Check out my blog, georgetoon.com/blog for my comic strip George, other cartoons, other videos like this. Check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/Mark080, where you'll find all the products I review on this channel organized and categorized so you can find everything easily in a snap. Thanks very, very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Make it a great week.